Manish, welcome.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to be a part of here in the interview with the Seedverse, especially on the events of World Seed Congress by ISF 2024.
100 years.
100 years. That's very good opportunities to witness it.
Exactly. Manish, you're here in a dual role. You are here in the role of APSA president, but also as director of Incotech India. What brought you to the world of seeds?
See, by born, I'm a farmer's son. And that's why since beginning, even before joining the agriculture faculty, I used to work in the farm, and that's where I created my affections with the seeds. And since then, I never stopped. I had my education throughout in seed, and especially in plant breeding and genetics. And that's always, I think, seed is something very important to the life. And here the message by ISF is also very clear that seed is a life. So I strongly believe if there is no seed on this planet, no life can exist. And this is such a vital and important inputs in agriculture. So I don't want to lose my connections with it. Secondly, I also want to contribute something back to the farmers and the global populations by helping little bit on the food security sides. And that's why I'm always eager to attend such events where I can contribute something towards the food security and also to help the farmers to get the right quality seeds.
Yeah, wonderful. Well said. Let's switch gears a bit towards APSA. The APSA president period is 2 years, I believe.
Yeah.
2 years. But before that, you have to be first vice president, and before that, second vice president. And I believe after your presidency, past president, it's quite a time investment.
Yeah.
What made you decide to accept the role of APSA president?
APSA has gone through a lot of changes, and what you are talking about, first president, first vice president, second vice president, that was the old structure.
Okay.
Of course, I stepped in that role when it was with the old constitution, and I think I am an exceptional president in APSA who has gone through all these different roles within the OB. I have been second vice president, I have been first vice president, I worked as a treasurer, and then I became a president. So since 2020 onwards, we changed the constitution of APSA, and we got registration in Singapore and working office in Thailand. And under new constitution, now the moment you become a OBs through election by executive council, and then you choose a vice president, automatically you become a president later on.
Okay.
Of course, it's quite time consuming, but when you have a passion, you have a love for it, I don't think you feel any burden. And for me, being a part of APSA is all about giving back something to the sectors. And that's my strong belief, because our bread and butters, whatever you say with my family or for the sectors, we are getting everything from the seeds. And it's a time now to do some volunteer job and to give back to the sectors in our best capacity.
Very true. With passion, you can overcome everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. Manish, if you look back at your period as APSA president, what would you say are your biggest achievements so far?
APSA is 30 years old organization, and this year we are going to celebrate 30th anniversary.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And like ISF is quite matured and already finishing 1 century. But for us, it's just the beginning, So 30 is kind of a young age.
Yeah.
And I think you can do a lot in young age. So APSA, luckily I'm stepping in as in the capacity of president when APSA is young.
Yes.
And I can sense the energy within the organizations, also within the sector. Things are getting changed very fast. And under the capacity of presidents, especially if I look at back, then, earlier APSA and now I think we have converted everything digitally. So do the things digitally, that's the tagline. And it's being followed at APSA. All the special working group, special committees and AGM, we look at all the communications, everything has become now digital. That's the way I think the world is going. So we are following more on that, and people are more comfortable now to do things digitally. I remember when we had a first electronic voting for election of executive council members in Malaysia. It was not a real successful. People were having a lot of mind blocks, and they were not ready to go with it. But later on, everybody realized, and thanks to the situations where we were forced to connect digitally during pandemic, And that's where I think the mindset was changed. And successfully, I think later on we conducted all the events digitally. Also the voting of AGMs in last Congress in New Zealand. So I think digital platforms is something where I think we contributed a lot, and it keeps the members and every stakeholders in a good touch, good communication. Secondly, if I look at that within APSA, of course, there were strategies, but then we refined and revised the strategy of APSA, considering the local, APEC region landscapes, especially for the seed sector. And we have been doing nowadays a lot of policy advocacies, scientific, skill developments. And I think collaboration is one of our taglines to make a success. So we have been collaborating with a lot of partners. After I joined as the president, I remember I had a vision of MOUs. And it's not only a passive MOUs, but we have been actively participating in those MOUs and doing our activities. You name it, like World Watch Centers, then we have been doing with APARI, we have been doing with regional other associations like the FSDA, ISTA. We have been doing a lot of activity with them. And just yesterday we signed an MOU with ISF. That's, we are fortunate that we are becoming a witness of first MOU with ISF in the beginning of new century. And that's something, will bring both the regional association and the global associations quite close together, and also with a very clear scope of work, what we can expect from each other. And APEC region is something where I think we need a lot of supports in terms of resource sharing and knowledge building. And of course, when it comes to the policy advocacy, we need some experienced people who can really make the things as enabling factors for the seed industry. So science-driven policy advocacy, that's where I think we need a lot of supports for upcoming technology from ISF. So these are the few things I think I have contributed back, and I'm feeling very happy that I'm able to do it.
Wonderful. Good luck with APSA. Thank you, Manish.
Thank you.